This is Mrs. Moret with a review of right triangle trig ratios. Using the triangle down here, let's assume that this is the right angle. And we're going to name this triangle A, B, C. And when you use the right triangle trig ratios, SOHCAHTOA, the values that you use depend on the sides of the triangle. So since C is the right angle, the side opposite C is called the hypotenuse. And then the other two sides are called the legs. The legs are either an opposite leg or adjacent leg, and that depends on which angle it's in reference to. So if we say angle A is our reference angle, then this side down here, CB, is the opposite leg. And the leg that is touching angle A is the adjacent leg. So we use those relationships of sides to figure out some connections between the angles and the lengths of the sides. So the first ratio is sine. The sine of an angle is equal to its opposite leg over the hypotenuse. So again, if we refer to angle A, the opposite leg, let's call it X, is side CB, and the sine of A is equal to the value of X over the value of the hypotenuse. The cosine of angle A, so cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Let's call the adjacent leg Y. And so the cosine of A is equal to Y over the hypotenuse. And then finally, we have tangent. The tangent of an angle in a right triangle is equal to the opposite leg over the adjacent leg. So for angle A, opposite is X and adjacent is Y. So we have sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. So looking at this new diagram where we have a different triangle ABC and we have lengths for each of the sides, we can calculate the sine, cosine, and tangent of those angles. So in particular, angle A. So again, to find the sine of angle A, sine is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. And so for angle A, the opposite side is 40, and this is the hypotenuse. So it's equal to 40 over 50, which you could write as 40/50ths. You could reduce it to 4/5, or you could write it as a decimal, 0.8. The cosine of angle A, remember that cosine is equal to the adjacent leg over the hypotenuse. And so the adjacent leg to angle A is the one marked with a 30. So the cosine of this angle A is equal to 30/50ths, which you could reduce to 3/5 or write as a decimal, 0.6. And then finally, the tangent of angle A. So again, tangent is equal to the opposite over the adjacent, so both of the legs. So opposite angle A is 40, and adjacent to angle A is 30. So 40 30ths, which you could reduce to 4/3, or you could write as a decimal 1.3, and that's repeating. And so there you have your review of finding right triangle trig ratios.